Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Prop Wiz. I'm your host, Wiz. Today, we'll be doing a review of a 1/6 scale figure, and that is this friendly neighborhood Spider-Man by Hot Toys. Now, of course, this is somewhat of a re-release. It is a re-release, I believe, in the figure itself. They've released this version of Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but this was released in conjunction with the No Way Home movie, Spider-Man movie, because, of course, we got to see my boy Tobey Maguire back in action. I'm real glad they did. This is one of the figures that got away the first go round. I believe Andrew Garfield Spider-Man was out at the time they released this last time. I did get my hands on that one from the first Amazing Spider-Man movie, but never did get this one. Look, full disclosure, I absolutely love Sam Raimi, man. Darkman is one of my favorite movies. Of course, the Evil Dead joints. Love what he did with Spider-Man. At the time, we didn't have anything like that, but I did like the direction of Andrew Garfield movies. Of course, that's an unpopular opinion, being that the movies did flop. Well, I guess they didn't flop, but the critical, the critics and the fans kind of spoke against it. So they end up not making any more of those movies. But I did like the costume, especially in Amazing Spider-Man 2. I felt like it really did look like the McFarlane Spider-Man. I like the mechanical web shooters, which they didn't have in this original. So there was things about this. I loved it at the time. And Spider-Man 2 by Sam Raimi, I think is still one of the better Spider-Man, not just Spider-Man movies. I think it's one of the best superhero movies. It's definitely within my top 10 best superhero movies. So there is a place in my heart for this. I just wanted to kind of just let you know where he kind of stood and the reason why I haven't had one of these in my collection, why some of the other Spider-Mans made it into my collection before this one, on top of the fact that, of course, it did eventually sell out and was hard to get a hold of, but I got it now, baby. Anyways, we'll jump right in with the review of the box, man. We got Tobey on the front. We got Spider-Man on the front. Look like we got Doc Ock arms in the background. Ooh, I just saw on the front, we also got the Doctor Strange portal, so it looked like he's jumping through the portal. Real dope, man. We got a little bit of graphics on the side. We actually got all three of the Spider-Mans fighting the Green Goblin on the side, it looks like. On the back, man, we got some textured design, some look like some spiderweb / tech design on the back. And written, we got Hot Toys present movie masterpiece series friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. This is the MMS 66116 scale collectible figure. It's cool that they labeling this the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I think that's the first time I've personally heard that attached to this particular. I always just call it the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, but I do think that the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man kind of fits. I don't know if that fits this Spider-Man, man. Spider-Man was out there battling Doc Ock in the streets of New York, yo, and Green Goblin before that in the city, man. So I don't know if it's fair to say that Tobey was the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. His Peter Parker definitely had that friendly neighborhood vibe, so I'll let it slide. It fits. Anyways, we'll dive in. It does have a slip case. I will say, man, this cover is real nice, yo. Real textured. You got like the hologram feel look to it, or this glossy look to it that's giving it a almost 3D feel to it, so this is cool. Okay, we already got the window showing off the figure. Figure's looking awesome so far in there. We got a Tobey Maguire head sculpt, but we'll get into those details when we open it. The rest of the box is real simple. We got this graphic design on the back again, letting us know it's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's got a mix of magic and you can't really see it, but they do have the Doctor Strange portal. Again, probably showing that the universe was broken or that little spell that Tom Holland Spider-Man ruined at the beginning. Anyways, very simple, man. Not too much to it, so we can dive in. Okay, we do have all the hands in a case here. It looks like we got 10 hands in here and 2 on the figure with a total number of 12 hands for those of you who can't count. And it's cool, and it looks like we also have 2 web shooters. It just looked like they got just the web shooters where the web is starting to come out. So not sure what that's about, but I guess we'll see when we open it up. Okay, I will say before I even take this bad boy out the box, the texture is phenomenal. It looks exactly like it does. The uniform, the costume itself looks exactly the way it does in the movie. This including the blue parts and the red parts got an airbrush. So it looked like they kind of airbrushed over the muscles, which I do think is consistent with that movie, because that movie definitely took it to the next level where he obviously had a muscle suit on under the suit on top of muscles. I will say this looks more consistent with the Spider-Man from Spider-Man 2. There was very, very little differences if you're not a fan between the first and the second movie. but I can definitely tell this is from the second movie just by the way the suit fits, and even the muscle suit. I think the muscle suit was a little bit more prominent. It was a little bit more different. I felt like everything was more streamlined in that second Spider-Man movie. Okay, we'll put him to the side till we get the rest of the stuff out the box. We do got this little device that he had in No Way Home, so that is connecting it again specifically to that movie. We got the base that also says Spider-Man No Way Home. So reissue of the figure, I assume, but this might be a different one. Again, I don't have the original, so I can't compare it to the first release, but the marketing, the words, everything around it is specifically saying Spider-Man No Way Home. So it's letting us know that this is that Spider-Man from that movie. All right, he do have the little cloth mask, so you can have him masked off, holding it in his hand or something. I absolutely love this. More than likely, this might be where I go with it. And I'll kind of tell you already, I got one gripe, only one gripe that I can see so far about the figure, and I'll tell you why I'll be using that mask versus the mask that's on there now. We do have Tobey Maguire's head sculpt. Beautiful, beautiful head sculpt. It's actually in two parts, so it's a neck, and the head is already attached to the neck. That way you can move the head separate from the neck. Beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm not sure if that's something they've always do with these figures. For some reason, I don't think so, but regardless, I think that's a wise choice. The actual head sculpt looks phenomenal, man. The eyes have life to it. Hot Toys always do a good job with their eyes. I feel like they just do that thing where it shines just in the perfect way where you can actually see the catch light and everything that gives those eyes life. The texture, the skin coloring, got the little stubbles in there, subtle. All the subtle paint on this bad boy is brilliant. The hair looks good. Yo, Hot Toys, awesome job with the head sculpt. Okay, we do got the dynamic pose stand. So this is one where you can use it when I'm standing straight up, or you can put the little connector on there and have them in the air doing something more dynamic. So that's always a good thing. And as all Spider-Man figures, I think I've done tons and tons of these reviews on different Spider-Man figures. They always come with these webs. I never, ever use the webs. I just don't use them because they convey a level of action I just don't like. I usually have my figures in what most people would say are boring poses, museum poses. They might have a little action, a little dynamic-ness to the way they're standing or whatnot, but I usually don't have them in action shots. So these webs aren't something that I usually use, but it's always awesome. I'm always glad that they put it in there. I love to have options, man, because these things are not cheap. So it makes you feel like you got your money's worth when they put those extra stuff in there, whether you use them or not. So look, not a whole lot to Spider-Man, right? You don't expect a whole bunch of accessories. So for the most part, that's it. Seeing if I can get him to stand up on his own, and I can. I don't know if he's going to stay standing, but look, we'll put this to the side for now and kind of focus on this figure. I will say, he's got the little click joints. He is very, very flexible. Not quite Spider-Man flexible. His legs won't come all the way up. There are a lot of crunching in the clothes. This is the reason why I usually keep my stuff in a museum pose. Again, it's not fun. I know a lot of collectors probably hate that I do that, probably be dissing me, but I do have a couple of figures where I did bend it up, had it in a pose, and the stuff was creased in a way that I couldn't get it back into any other shape, man. So I try not to damage it, and that's all dependent on the figures. A lot of figures depending on the costumes, man. Like Moon Knight here, real great to be able to hide. I have a feeling I can pose him how I want. It'll probably snap back into place. Got all those layers hiding stuff. Spider-Man just got spandex, baby. You just got underwear on, man. So there's nothing to hide those creases or wrinkles when those wrinkles are put in there. So I'll probably just have him in a dynamic pose. And again, I'm leading towards using the head sculpt, the Tobey Maguire head sculpt, Peter Parker head sculpt. Okay, that goes to my one little beef, maybe 1.5 beef. There's a crease in between the legs that isn't the worst thing. There's one in the back, towards the back, so it doesn't really interfere with the figure if you're looking at it from the front. But, and this is probably a complaint with a couple of the Spider-Man figures that have these heads, is this crease here. I don't like that crease. It doesn't blend in. It looks like it's giving evidence that it's a toy to me. It's not the worst thing in the world. One thing that is doing better than some of the older figures is, I believe the Amazing Spider-Man, the head sculpt was all plastic, whereas in this does look like a cloth. It looked like it's made out of the same material as this. In fact, the head moves. So there is a mask that they got probably tucked in right here where the neck connects to the head. So this is the same material as a suit. So it does blend together. It does look good better than most, but I still don't like that. That crease is just too much, man, which lends itself to me using this head sculpt because I think it'll take the attention away from that crease. Anyways, that's me. Now, if I had two of these figures, you know what I mean, I probably would put this one in a dynamic pose and have another figure with the Peter Parker head sculpt. Anyways, while we got the mask on, it does look good. Again, the neck moves around. That's perfect. So he's got a neck and a head connected to a neck, so the head itself can move separate from the neck with this mask over it. So it's giving that one piece, no creases there. That's beautiful. I already spoke on the design. You got the airbrushing on the muscles. The hands is plastic, so the hands is a good example where the hands do look like a different material. The reds, anyway, is looking slightly different than the actual bodysuit, but you know, from afar, it blends in well enough. It ain't that bad. The webbing is absolutely dope. Again, very, very similar to the movie, or mimicking the movie almost exact, where we see it as black. When you look at it up close, it actually has a silver kind of black look to it. So it definitely stands out from the suit. It gives it that 3D look, just gives it more dimension. Again, exactly the way it is in the movie, but it's real cool seeing it on a figure this size. The back, we got the Spider logo looking good. On the front, same thing, classic logo. In fact, they still use that logo on a couple of things. If I'm not mistaken, the logo on the most recent Tom Holland figure looked real similar. If it wasn't the same, looked real similar to that. And of course, you got all the little, those little details, those little textured looks that the superhero costume. This is one of the first ones, in fact, that I saw have that. The Spider-Man costume from the original Spider-Man movie just got all these designs where it's not just complete red. It just adds a little bit more dimension with these little octagon, diamond shape designs in the actual silk screen. The flexibility of the figure, I guess I already went over. He's flexible enough. He could probably be a little bit more flexible. He's not Spider-Man flexible. His legs ain't coming all the way up. He's probably as flexible as Tobey Maguire was, though, knowing that he had back problems. So that's what we got, man. We got a back problem 1/6 scale Spider-Man figure, which is fine. It's movie accurate. All right. I'm actually just gonna lean my boy up against that. Man, super dope. This device that they were building in the movie, very cool. Very cool that it came with him. Yeah, I mean, it's simple. I may or may not have it in the display case. We'll see, because I don't know, as of now, I don't know where I'm gonna be keeping this bad boy. I've actually had him for a few months, probably longer than a few months. I've had him for quite a while, and he's been sitting in the box because I didn't have any room for him, and the Spider-Man is important, is iconic. The figure is iconic, so I didn't want to take him out of the box and not have anywhere to put him. I end up doing it. We got the Prop Wiz show, reviewing toys, man. I had to review him, had to take him out the box. So I don't know if he's gonna go in the DTOF with other Spider-Man figures, which is already crowded. I got 2 Tom Holland figures in one case, and I got 2 Andrew Garfields in another case. So it wouldn't be fair to put him in with Andrew or Tom Holland. I gotta figure it out, man. This is the stuff that goes to a collector mind. Where do we put this figure? Don't know. He'll probably sit in here. Similarly, I got Moon Knight and I got Reva over there, who I had no room for, who are sitting up here. So maybe Spider-Man will sit up here until I can find a place. I do have a case that I got from Sideshow specifically for 1/6 scale figures that's got little lights in it. So he'll probably go in that case, but I still got to figure out where to put that case. So we'll get there. We'll make it happen. But I'm glad to have him out of the box, man. He is beautiful. Top-notch figure, man. Definitely give this bad boy a 10 out of 10. Jeez, yo, the body type is right. Like, it looks like a real person. That's the beauty with 1/6 scale figures. And the only time they do it wrong is when it just looks too much like a toy. You know what I'm saying? And this one actually looked like he got hit with the shrink ray from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. That's a corny reference. Unlike me, I apologize. Just stating the fact that it looks like a little man. Not like a Oompa Loompa man, but you know, like he got shrunk down. I'm still doing it. I'm sorry. The point is, the figure is dope. I love it. Glad to have it part of the collection. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Is this something you already own? Especially if you're one of those ones that got the first release. Let me know if there's any differences between this and that one. I'm assuming they are, because they've gotten better and better at this technology. It might be the body type. It's always little subtle things that they might change and update. So let me know if you know that to be the case or what it is. Also, let me know what you think about this movie, man. I said Spider-Man 2 is definitely in my top 10, but No Way Home is within my top 10 too, man. In fact, I love love all three of those newer Spider-Man movies, man. I think they were spot on. Again, Andrew Garfield was on the right path, but just with the mechanical web shooters, also the spider sense, the way the spider sense was used in that movie, absolutely loved it. And I do feel like the Tom Holland just took it to the next level. And I love how they broke the movies down. Like, I don't think we got the spider senses until Endgame, right? Didn't really see it in the Spider-Man movie until the end of Spider-Man 2. So real dope. And of course, we got the humor in Spider-Man in the earlier movies. That was the one thing, I guess I listed a couple of other things, but that was the main thing that was missing for me. As a fan of the comic book, man, I always thought Spider-Man was funny. I like his wit. It really wasn't in the Tobey Maguire films. It really wasn't. Like, I think maybe you guys can find a couple of instances where he might have said something here and there, but to me, it wasn't as natural as Andrew Garfield. That's another thing I liked about Andrew Garfield. And of course, Tom Holland brought a little boyish feeling to that same humor that I thought was super dope. But anyways, I can go on and on. Please like this video, man. If you like the video, please take the time to hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Also, hit the notify button. That way you get notified every time I drop a new video. As always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time, all right?
Check it out.
Yeah, she said I was OCD, one cool dude.